Though there is currently no water restriction measures in place for most parishes, we want you to be mindful of your water usage during this warmer than normal summer period. Check around your homes for leaks and fix them promptly. Sanitize and store water for later use. And if you're living in communities suffering from water shortage, the government will soon be trucking water to you. Be sure to continue to watch Jamaica Magazine for these and other updates.
It's important to store water during periods of drought. It's even more important to ensure that the water is safe. Boiling and treating your water with bleach are two of the best ways to purify water. If you choose the boiling method, allow the water to boil for 5 minutes, cover and let it cool. Store boiled water in a clean airtight container and use something with a handle to take out the water when needed. If you use bleach to make your water safe for drinking, use 2 drops of bleach to a liter of water, 8 drops for a gallon, and ½ teaspoon of bleach for 5 gallons of water. Shake well and leave for half an hour before use. Water is essential to a healthy life, so ensure yours is clean and safe for consumption.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 23. Jamaica and Namibia are to cooperate in sports development and political consultations. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Dr. Hage Geingob, the President of the Republic of Namibia, to facilitate the collaboration. The signing comes on day 2 of the Prime Minister's state visit to the African country, the first from a Jamaican head of government to that nation. Shortly after his arrival in the country, Mr. Holness engaged in a brief courtesy call with the Deputy Prime Minister prior to a short meeting with the President. Both leaders expressed sincere appreciation for the strong ties between Jamaica and Namibia and spoke of the history of cooperation between the two countries in relation to Namibia's independence struggle. The Prime Minister is also meeting with members of the Namibian private sector during his visit. A highlight of the visit is the renaming of a street in the capital city of Windhoek in honor of Jamaica's first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Mr. Holness is in Namibia as the first stop on his way to address the 10th BRIC Summit, slated for July 25 to 28 in Johannesburg, South Africa. BRICS is an acronym for a grouping of the world's emerging economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The Urban Development Corporation, UDC, is seeking to dispel fears that persons living in the vicinity of National Heroes Park will be left homeless to make way for the new Parliament building. UDC's General Manager Dr. Damian Graham says the plan is to upgrade existing housing structures that have outlived their usefulness, construct high-rise apartments on vacant lots, and improve the sewage and road network. Dr. Graham, who was addressing a recent JIS think tank, said there would be some temporary relocation of residents to different parts of the community to accommodate the staged upgrading of the infrastructure.
In some of the properties that are there, they are dated in terms of their functionality, and the number of families that are within some of them have outgrown the space that is there. And so we intend to make those people's lives better by improving it, improving the densities. We're looking at putting better housing stock in the space for that.
He says consultations on the plan continues with the members of Parliament, councillors, and other stakeholders. The UDC is also engaging with the Social Development Commission to conduct social intervention in the communities, beginning with a needs assessment.
Specifically, going on the verandas, talking to people, understanding from the community level what are their current needs and how we need to tailor now the execution of the project to ensure that their lives are better.
In the meantime, 37 teams of architects comprising over 200 persons have registered for the Houses of Parliament design competition. The competition was launched on May 17 and registration closed on June 14. The designers have since toured the National Heroes Park and Gordon House and took part in question and answer sessions. Senior Project Manager at the Urban Development Corporation, Leighton White, says this is to build the architects' awareness about the functionality of both spaces and to address their concerns. Architects now have from July 20 to September 17 to design and submit their entries for the new Parliament building.
Following that submission cutoff period, we will be having our evaluation period. We have a technical committee that will evaluate the entries to make sure that they are in conformance with our documents, following which they will hand over the entries that have passed that test to the jury, who will now do the full evaluation.
The winner of the competition will be announced in February 2019. The construction of a new Parliament building forms part of the National Heroes Park redevelopment and government campus project. The Ministry of Justice is providing procurement training for its staff to ensure that they have the capacity to execute plans for upgrading the sector while abiding by government rules. Permanent Secretary Carol Palmer says she has just given approval for 22 staff members to undergo a 6-day procurement training valued at just under $900,000. It will be administered by external facilitators who are experts in the field and follows recent staff training in the areas of enterprise risk management and organizational development.
We are paying keen attention to the capacity development of our staff, and we are being very strategic and targeted in our approach so we get best value for money.
The Permanent Secretary was addressing a recent press briefing to update the country on the ministry's achievements. The Ministry of Education will be undertaking robust career training programs in secondary schools across the island this coming school year. The ministry, through the Heart Trust NTA, will be partnering with the National Parenting Support Commission and the National Parent-Teacher Association to provide career advice to the students. State Minister Floyd Green says this fits well with expectations of an increase in the number of students trained in Heart Trust NTA programs this academic year.
We are reforming our education system to place more emphasis on the practical side of skills. And we want to ensure that from as early as secondary school, our young people in a real way are learning certifiable skills.
The State Minister was speaking at the recent opening ceremony for World Skills Day. And finally, persons in the diaspora will be able to watch live streams of performances at this year's Independence Grand Gala on the JCDC website, as the agency promotes the One Love, One Family theme of Jamaica 56. In addition to the live stream, diaspora members are also invited to join in the celebrations on JCDC's social media platform. Leading up to the Grand Gala, the best of Jamaica's culture will be on show at the Independence Festival Village at the National Arena from August 1 to 5. It kicks off at 6 a.m. on August 1 with the August Morning Market, where patrons will be able to purchase fresh produce.
Of course, the village is open daily with many attractions and shopping available to you. Come and buy your authentic Jamaican cuisine there as well, as we run the village all the way up until August 6, which would also feature the Independence Grand Gala inside the National Stadium.
The Independence Festival Village will open to the public at 12 p.m. daily. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Jamaica is on track with its commitment to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are aligned to the island's Vision 2030 National Development Plan. Our island recently presented its first voluntary report. Take a look.
I do have a dream, and I know you have a dream, that we can make Jamaica the place of choice for you to choose to live, to work, to do business.
We are going for the Jamaica we want. Making steady progress to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030 Jamaica. We have teamed up with valued partners, working through strong institutions to reduce inequalities in our society. We commit to being responsible in our production and consumption, ensuring we build sustainable communities in harmony with nature. Jamaica is making significant strides in providing quality, lifelong education for all, enabling our people to be engaged in decent work to drive economic growth, equipping men and women with the skills to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industry, foster innovation, and utilize new technologies. Urgent action is being taken to manage natural resources responsibly, protecting clean water sources, ensuring access to water and sanitation for all, diversifying to alternative energy sources, conserving our environment and sustaining life below water and on land. Jamaica is making moves to ensure healthy lifestyles for the well-being of our people. We're promoting sustainable agriculture to achieve food security, improve nutrition, and end extreme hunger, putting in the work to end poverty in all its forms. We're on track in achieving our Sustainable Development Goals through realizing our Vision 2030 Jamaica. We will leave no one behind.
And I'm shooting right now, cause we're winning right now.
Want some water with you, please?
Water gone. But me need water for cook. So how me go wash?
Let's weather the drought. Start conservation measures today. Check for leaks around your house. Opt for shorter showers over long baths. Reuse water to water plants and lawn. Watch the amount of water you and your family use. Try cooking methods that don't require much water. And if you have a vehicle, avoid washing it regularly. Remember, water is as important as the air we breathe. So conserve our water, conserve our life.
The National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons observes Trafficking in Persons Week, July 22 to 28, under the theme From Victim to Survivor, The Hard Road to Recovery. The first international conference on human trafficking will be held at Milia Braco Trelawney, July 25 and 26, with 120 delegates and presenters from the local and international community. You too can join us on Facebook at Loop Jamaica, Twitter at min_of_justice, and Instagram at Loop Jamaica to benefit from the presentations and participate in the discussions. Join Jamaica's campaign to eradicate human trafficking. Spot them, stop them, report them. A message from the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
Cyberbullying is a serious crime. Threatening, harassing, targeting, or embarrassing someone over a technological device or the internet should never be done as the impacts can be far-reaching. Here's a perfect example.
I'm Tony Anlati and I am a victim of cybercrime. It started when my friends and I were in school and we all received a friend request from a weird name. We didn't know who it was at the time, but because we all got the friend request, we figured more likely it was a real person, so everybody accepted this person. Wrong move. So everything was fine in the initial stages, but maybe like a week or two after everybody accepted the friend request, some strange things started to happen. They would send us messages, sometimes individually, or they'd send the same message to everybody just to see what kind of different responses we would have. And it was very weird, to say the least. But then after that, it's like they upped the ante a little bit to start. Well, they started to tell us things that we were doing and places that we were going and people that we were with, and it was just like, okay, do I know you? Well, we became very paranoid. It's sensitive information that this person is telling you, it's places that you never really announce it to people that you're going here. So when you see somebody send you a message to say, oh, you're here with this person and this person, you start to look at your friends now like, it's you, I know you're playing with me. You just talk the truth and let's move on. But it wasn't any of them. When everything happened, at that time we had a lecturer who was a DSP. So we started to get advice from him asking, what to do, and at that point he told us that the best thing to do is stay as safe as possible, and so we started to leave school extra early. But we sort of just took matters into our own hands to try and find the person ourselves. We Googled how to trace IP addresses, and that's how we found out that the person who was doing this was actually a member of the school community, or they would be attached to the school Wi-Fi at the same time that we were at school. Eventually, it stopped because we made an uproar about it in spaces where we suspected the person was. So we began to speak very loudly about it. We let them know that we would be pressing charges and we'd go out with a bag of things. We didn't know who the person was, but we figured more likely that they heard us loud and clear. To this day, we don't have a definitive answer as to who the person was. Yes, we have our suspicions. But I can't really point at somebody to say, you are the person who was doing that. And that's a little scary to me. Looking back now, I think we all would have been much better off and a lot less paranoid if we kept ourselves to ourselves and only added people on social media that you know for a fact are your friends. If somebody doesn't have a profile picture, that's probably not somebody that you want to share your information with. To everybody else, I just say be very careful on social media because things and times have changed and there are some people out there with really malicious intent. So you just have to be very, very careful, be observant, be vigilant.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Sexual abuse is always a very difficult thing to confront, particularly when the alleged victim is a child. Parents, if it is that you suspect that your child has been sexually abused or is in a vulnerable set of circumstances where an abuse may occur, we encourage you to have dialogue with your child. Take the child to the pediatrician who normally attends to the child. If there is no such pediatrician, take your child to the clinic, to the hospital, to some medical practitioner who can do an assessment for you. It's very important as well that we don't just look at the physical side, but we also seek to find the kind of psychosocial support that a child may need. Does the child need a session with a counselor? Does the child need to speak with a pastor who is used to dealing with these issues? Does the child need to get that ongoing psychological support to assist with the healing process and also to assist the child in becoming strong enough, as it were, to deal with the various processes that will follow once it is that you suspect an abuse has occurred. If it is that the child actually discloses, when you engage the child in discussion, that yes, mommy and daddy, I was abused, we encourage you to entertain the child, to listen to what the child has to say to you, and to take it very seriously. So we really urge you to have those discussions and to seek guidance in terms of, do I speak to the police about this, which we always say you have to, because once a child has been sexually abused, it's a criminal matter, and it means that once at all possible, the child should be assisted to go through the processes so that the perpetrator can in fact be held accountable. Support your child and let them understand in very clear terms that they are not the cause or the reason for this abuse having been perpetrated. But the most important element is to support them, get them access to the services that they need, and give them a chance to have you give them that listening ear. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm. Thank you.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you say to me sister, cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
Come September, the island's primary school-aged children will have a new method of examining their readiness for secondary school. Get some useful information on this examination.
The Grade 6 Achievement Test has finished its course, and the time has come for the primary exit profile to start its journey.
PEP is the acronym for the primary exit profile, and it is the new exam that will replace the current Grade 6 Achievement Test. It's a better test. I don't think people need to be afraid of it. It is far more student friendly. It is designed that instead of being a one-shot exam, it will be assessment over a 3-year period. And important that the final set of assessment will only now be on the Grade 6 curriculum. So we think it's a much better assessment to better prepare our students for high school.
PEP is closely aligned to the new National Standards curriculum that is being implemented to equip students with 21st century skills.
The primary exit profile, PEP, has 3 components. We have the performance task, and we have the ability test, and the curriculum-based test. The performance task, this is an activity that will be given to the students. It is an activity that is based on the curriculum at the different grades. Whether if the performance task is at grade 4, it will be based on the grade 4 curriculum. This task will look at putting the children into a real-world scenario where they are asked to respond based on the content that they would have gained from being exposed to the National Standards curriculum to respond to an activity in a scenario. The ability test looks at verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning. It's not curriculum-based, meaning that it's not based on the curriculum at grade 4, 5, and 6. So students in responding to these items will not need content knowledge at the grade 4, 5, and 6 level. The curriculum-based test, this will be based on the grade 6 curriculum. It will be in social studies, science, mathematics, and language arts. Unlike GSAT, it has multiple choice items along with other item types. So you will have the multiple choice with explanation. You will have matching, order matching. You will have table grade, a different variety of item types. We are advanced in our preparation for PEP administration. We start with our mock tests come June, we'll have our grade 4 students as well as our grade 5 students doing mock performance tasks. The grade 4 students, they will do their performance task in language arts and mathematics. Our grade 5 students will do our performance task in language arts, mathematics, social studies, and science.
Okay, good job, good job.
In our preparation, we have also trained our grade 4 teachers, our grade 5 teachers. They have also been trained in how to assess the curriculum at the classroom level. We will be training those same group of teachers, the grade 4 and 5 teachers, in May in administering the performance task, because there is a section on the performance task that requires the teacher, the classroom teacher, to do a series of activities to prepare the students, to make them feel comfortable going into doing their own task the following day.
The trainings that were done were really great. It had us as teachers being very active. We would have received material that would help us to make or develop assessment questions that would assist our children and even us as teachers to get the practice in how we go forward into developing assessment activities and teaching our children to be really critical thinkers when we are teaching and assessing them.
We're excited about the move to PEP because this is what the society needs. The National Standards Curriculum, which PEP is designed on, is creating students that are globally competitive.
This will not just have the children looking at knowledge alone, but it will have them engage, actively engage. And so the skills that we will be developing in them will take them far and wide globally, because these skills are really needed wherever they go.
This is where we leave you today, but stay with us on our journey as we keep you informed. Follow, like, and subscribe to our social media pages and YouTube channel. On the go, then download our app on your Apple and Android devices. From all of us here at the JIS, keep safe on your travels and do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.